Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and with BlizzCon Online going on probably like in 12 hours or so from when this video goes live, maybe less, we'll probably have a good idea of what the next Hearthstone expansion is, what the new mode is, and maybe some other stuff, like maybe some core set cards or whatever. But to celebrate that, to get ready for it, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at what the 10 best cards so far have been from Darkmoon Races, the mini set that released, like, it's been like a month now or less. It's been pretty crazy. It's been an incredibly powerful mini set. The meta has changed a ton with it, still changing to this day. And I thought it'd be just, let's be fun. Take a look, and maybe if you haven't, you haven't bought the mini set with gold or money, maybe there's some cards you want to craft. It's a good idea of what you might want to grab from here. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at the 10 best cards so far from Darkmoon Races. So starting off at number 10, we have the Rally card. It's for Paladin and Priest, 4 mana spell, and you resurrect a 1 cost, a 2 cost, and a 3 cost minion. And this is seen play in both Priest and Paladin. Priest in like a Miracle style deck with like Asmani and Sethic Veilweaver, and then in like Libram Paladin, you get back like your pride, and you can get back like a loot hoarder, a 1-drop pinflinger, whatever. It's done really well in both decks, and it's definitely been more powerful than I thought. I thought I would see a little bit of play in Priest, but turns out it's seeing moderate play in both Priest and Paladin, so it's a pretty good card. At number 9, we have the Warlock Priest spell Hysteria. This card kind of broke wild for a little bit, got nerfed. You can only target enemy minions, but it's still really powerful card. Still sees a lot of play in both Standard and Wild. Sees play in both Warlock and Priest, and it's just a really solid card. I thought it would see a good amount of play, but it's so powerful just to be able to pick like the biggest minion of your opponent and just have it slam a bunch of stuff. You can manipulate it, do all sorts of things. No more Wretched Tiller combo, thankfully. But yeah, Hysteria definitely been a very powerful card in both Priest and Warlock. At number 8, we have the neutral Murloc, the 2-mana 1/4 Murloc Crab Rider. This card has popped up in a good amount of decks, specifically Paladin, where you have like the Cheese Paladin, Ramp Paladin, you play it there. I've been trying it in Libram Paladin. It's pretty good there, especially like Blessing of Wisdom, drawing multiple cards. And it's good in like, I've seen it in Warrior decks, like in Rage Warrior, where you just Nitro boost it or enrage it or whatever. This card is just really solid. You used to have to pay 3 mana for a 1/4 Wind Fury mech, and now that it's a 2 mana Murloc with Rush, it's pretty darn powerful and a very solid card for sure. Number 7, we have Libram of Judgment, the new Libram weapon for Paladin. It's a 5/3, costs 7 mana. If you corrupt it, you get lifesteal. This card is absurd. I have no idea why they felt Libram Paladin needed more damage / healing, but it's there. And yeah, I only run 1 copy at the moment, my Libram Paladin, but just to get that damage, to get that lifesteal is incredibly powerful, and it just changes things up. Like, one of the problems Libram Paladin has had is finishing off your opponent, doing that, and well, now with 15 burn or 30 burn, if you're running 2 copies of it, it's pretty hard to outlast that if you're any deck, plus they're healing. It's just a pretty ridiculous card. At number 6, we have the Mage Spell Conjure Mana Biscuit. It's 2 mana, you add a biscuit to your hand, which refreshes 2 mana. It's not like Innervate or old Innervate where you gain 2 mana, it just refreshes. So don't play it if you're like 6 of 6 mana. Don't do it. You don't get 8 of 6. But yeah, this card alone has made Quest Mage a lot more viable again in Wild, but has given Mozaki Mage like a huge huge life in both Wild and Standard. To be able to save those biscuits, go off with Auctioneer, you get turn 5, 6, 7 lethals more often than you would think with this card, and it's just ridiculous and an absurd amount of mana cheat. And I would imagine Sorcerer's Apprentice might be going with the new rotation and might make this card a little bit more fair, but as it stands, it's pretty busted when you can cheat it out and just do absurd stuff. Number 5, we have the neutral minion Armor Vendor, 1 mana 1/3 Battlecry. Both players gain 4 armor. This card's sweet. I love this card. It's great in any slower deck. Just early game, it's a 1/3. It dictates a lot of trades. You gain armor. Hell, you can deny like healing from like a Dark Glare Warlock, which can be pretty cool. And it's just a really good anti-aggro minion. There's so little of that in the game. I'd love to see more stuff like this, but this card has popped up in countless deck lists already in Standard and Wild, and will be very prominent for quite some time. It's better than Mistress of Mixtures. That's how freaking good it is. It's an awesome card. At number 4, we have the Demon Hunter card, Illidari Studies. This card, 1 mana, you discover an outcast card, it costs 1 less. You can cheat out Skull for like 4 if you have 2 of these before turn 3 or whatever. It's just card's crazy. Most Outcast cards are good. It's made Glide decent. It's made Stelina decent because you create those. And in Wild, you can run this in Odd Demon Hunter and get Skull again. And because of this card, OTK-DH has become a prominent, very top tier deck at higher ranks. And yeah, I imagine this is going to be auto-include in pretty much every Demon Hunter deck going forward, as I had predicted. Because yeah, turns out getting Outcast cards discounted basically for free is absolutely ridiculous. At number 3, this is probably the biggest surprise of the set for me, is Imprisoned Phoenix, the 2-mana 2/3 dormant spell damage minion for both Shaman and Mage. Believe it or not, it's in Shaman. And it has spawned like the spell damage mage has been incredibly powerful. You can't interact with this minion, and it's like a little mini Malagos. And when you have cards that, it's like made the side quests viable now, where you draw 3 cards because you have enough elemental support to make it work. I had just the other day, my opponent play this on 2, and on turn 4 with Apprentice, he did 28 damage with 4 arcane missiles because he got 2, like, it was ridiculous. This card has just been really strong in that deck, and definitely like the sleeper of the set for me. I did not think much of this card. I thought it might be fun in like little combo decks, but no, it's just an insane like aggro card of all things. It's just ridiculously good. At number 2, another card I kind of slept on that I thought would be good, but not right away, is Arbor Up, the Druid spell, 5 mana. You get 2 Treants, and you give your minions +2/+1. So immediately it's like, what, a 4/3 on Treants on the board immediately, but pair it up with like Solar Eclipse, it's ridiculous, and basically any board becomes a gigantic issue. And I thought Spell Druid was decent, but I didn't think Arbor Up would be that card to put it over the top, but it is. It gives them that big finisher, that big reach, and again, with cards like Lightning Bloom, where you could play this on turns 3 or 2, it's just insane. This card's nuts, and might end up getting nerfed at some point. Who knows? It's just very powerful, ridiculously good card, and if you want to play Spell Druid, absolutely craft this, or get the mini set, or whatever. It's crazy. Super good. Before we get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. First being Moonfang. This card's not completely useless. It's not great. Moonfang's not fantastic. It's a legendary minion, 5 mana 6/3 beast, but you have to deal damage to it 3 separate times, or remove it with like a hard removal and like death or whatever. But yeah, this card actually pops up in like Guardian Animals Druid. It's okay there. I've seen it in a couple other decks, some meme like Hunter stuff, but I'm putting it on here because it's actually playable, and I really thought it would just be complete garbage. But, you know, it's still not very good. It's still pretty bad, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool card, and Moonfang is actually playable, so if you get it, give it a go. You might have some fun. Next is Dreaming Drake as an honorable mention. The Druid Dragon. It gets 3 mana 3/4 taunt, but corrupt it, gains +2/+2. Pretty good, makes Breath of Dreams better, you know, get that ramp option, and, you know, it's spawned a bit of a more of a corrupt druid with Yashiraj, because you can get Dreaming Drakes on top of like your jewel or whatever it's called, like your amulet, to get more armor, and you can do some good stuff. This card's very solid. Turns out a 3 mana 5/6 taunt, it's not bad even off curve, and if you can get back for 0 a bunch of times, it's even more ridiculous. So yeah, Dreaming Drake, pretty good. I thought it would be. I'm not surprised by it, but glad to see it performing pretty well. And then Lucky Soul Hoarder, the 3 mana 3/4 Soul Fragment card for Warlock and Demon Hunter. Just a good card. Fits into both Soul Fragment decks for Demon Hunter and Warlock. It's just, you know, premium set of body, shuffle some fragments, draw some cards. All around, really solid card. And if you want to play Soul Fragment decks, you definitely want Lucky Soul Hoarder in there. So what is number 1? What is the best card so far from Darkmoon Races? There's so many to pick from, and it's really not that hard to pick. It's Nitro Boost Poison. It's stupid. Why is this 1 mana? Why? Why does it have Corrupt on it? Why? Like, you play a card that costs more than a freaking mana, it gets corrupted. But not only that, you play Secret Passage, you draw it, you corrupt it, you keep the poison. This card is ridiculous. It will get nerfed. I am absolutely convinced of it that this card will get nerfed. By the way, it's in Warrior too. This is a Warrior card. It's not just in Rogue, and even Warriors do run it, because why wouldn't you? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, 1 mana, deal 4. But think about it. It's not just 1 mana, deal 4. If you put it on your Self-Sharpening Sword, on the first durability, that's like, what, 4 swings? That's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 1 mana, deal 10. 1 mana, deal 10. No wonder you die on turn 5 and 6 to a Weapon Rogue if they draw Self-Sharpening Sword and Nitro Boost Poison. It's just ridiculous. The card is absurd. It's the best from the mini set so far, and I gotta believe it'll get nerfed. It's just not good for the game, in my opinion. But who knows? Smork away with it while you can. It's a pretty insane card. And let me know in the comments below, what do you think are the best cards so far from Darkmoon Races? Which do you agree with? disagree with. It's always a fun debate to have. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.